Is that true?
Good morning, everyone. I want to do that again because I like the echo in this amazing gym. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
What an exciting and marvelous day here in the city of Passaic. I'm the mayor of the city of Passaic, Hector Laura, and it is my distinct honor and pleasure to begin this ceremony, this wonderful presentation of the amazing Passaic Dayton Avenue Educational Complex. We'll hear more about it as speakers come up, but I do want to take this opportunity to acknowledge some of the dignitaries that are here with us locally. We have the President of the Board of Education, Danny Rodriguez. Thank you. Vice President of the Board of Education, Judith Sanchez. Commissioner of the Board of Education, Abril Barales. Sorry. Commissioner of the Board of Education, Marianne Capersi. Commissioner of the Board of Education, Christina Schratz Robinson. Commissioner of the Board of Education, Ron Van Rensselaer. We have also with us our Assistant Superintendent, Mr. Jeff Trupel. Principals, educators, staff from City Hall, and our police department, our Chief of Police, Luis Guzman, our Deputy Chiefs, Jonathan Shayer and Louis Gentile, as well as Captain Rivera. Hopefully I covered everyone. If not, please forgive me. As mayor, I'm so very excited about today. It was 2019 in August when we did the beam signing. We all came together here on Dayton Avenue, and we told the children that there would be a remarkable and amazing structure that was coming up, a wonderful opportunity for education. When our governor, Governor Phil Murphy, took office, he made a commitment to expand educational opportunities throughout the state and ensure that there would be equity, that every community would know that investments were going to reach them, that every child, that every family would know that the state has their back, that we are here to invest in the future. As I was walking up the hall, I was able to say hello to Scarlett Gutierrez, young lady sitting in the front here with the children who represent the future of our city. I was so excited to feel the enthusiasm and joy from the children of our city, understanding what it means here today. To see our teachers, our administrators so very excited to receive our state officials as we begin this ceremony, I am reminded of why this is so very important. You know, whether you are a child whose name is Greta and you're going around the world reminding everybody that though adults get to run it, the world does not belong to us. There are those that will come after. Whether you are a young lady named Malala, who is trying to remind people that education is for everyone, no matter their distinctions, or whether your name is Daniela Velasquez, who graduated from Passaic High School in June as the valedictorian, not just of Passaic High School, but of Passaic County Community College, having achieved an associate's degree at the same time as she got her high school diploma and went on to Ivy League. You know, her story made the papers, but there were other stories that didn't. The other 21 students that graduated with associate's degrees. The over 600 seniors that graduated in June, and over 120 that graduated this August because of a result of COVID and the pandemic. Some took extra jobs. Some had to stay home and take care of family members. Some had to make sacrifices, but they got to graduate afterwards. When I consider each and every one of those stories, I again am reminded as why is today, or today, so very important. Because it is an investment in our youth. We are fond of saying that the youth are the future, but the reality is, and I go back to those names that I mentioned, The youth are the present. They are the ones inspiring us today, whether they utilize social media platforms to tell us of what's going on in the world and hold us accountable, or whether it is to inspire us and remind us that the platforms that we have, the offices that we hold, are a responsibility to ensure that every child has access to the very best education. I was born and raised in the city of Passaic, and I am so very proud to have gone through the public school systems. But I will admit to you, there were times where I would interact with others, especially when I got to college, and I would hear about their educational experiences, their buildings, the schools, the trips they went on, all of the resources they had available. To me, those were foreign ideas. The great impact of this school, this educational complex, named after amazing leaders around the world, is the fact that class sizes will be reduced, making sure that teachers can focus specifically on individual students and give them all of their attention. You know, this school, which has received hundreds of millions of dollars, along with so many other schools in the area, or this educational complex that represents 4 different schools, would not be possible if not for the support, the advocacy, the championing of our amazing state representatives like Assemblyman Gary Scheer, Senator Paul Sarlo, who work along with their colleagues, and I know the governor will mention them. I often say this, and I mean it. You know, we call it the Dayton Avenue Educational Complex. I genuinely refer to it with people as the Assemblyman Gary Scheer Educational Complex. He doesn't like it, but for years, he has consistently stood at the forefront of our community and at the state level, telling everyone, children in Passaic, we don't want more. We just want the same. We want the very best, just like you fight for the very best for your children. He wants to make sure that every child, no matter where they are in our city, whether it is uptown, downtown, east side, west side, every ward, gets the very best teachers, the very best support, and that resources come flowing down. In my constant conversations with Senator Sarlo, he made a commitment as budget chair that he would look at the state in its totality and make sure that everyone receives opportunities to develop, everyone receives opportunities to have great parks and investment in infrastructure. But I'll conclude where I began. It is because Governor Murphy made a commitment to equity, a commitment to justice in every single aspect of our community's development, whether it is environmental justice, social justice, educational justice. Governor Murphy made promises. I'm in the world of politics, and oftentimes you hear the words and you wonder whether they will come to fruition. Today, this is tangible evidence that his promises and the commitment of his administration and our remarkable leaders on the state level, working alongside our commissioners and the leadership of our superintendent, Sandra Diodanet Montañez, and all of the administrators and teachers, are truly about the kids. So as mayor, I humbly say this: thank you. Thank you to all of you who have worked so hard to make this happen. Thank you to all of the teachers who will work every single day to ensure that our children not only have access to one of the most amazing facilities in the state of New Jersey, but continue to receive the highest quality of education possible. I also see that our Commissioner of the Board of Education, Arthur Soto, has arrived. Governor Murphy, I know I took up some time acknowledging the commissioners and elected officials, but I wanted to ensure that I highlight your work, that I thank you as mayor, because this is not you showing up to Passaic. Sometimes I wonder if you spend as much time in the other places as you do here. We have seen you consistently walking with our community, whether at a parade, showing up at cultural activities, being here for these momentous occasions. It is remarkable to me that you still have such a heart after years of service for even the minor or smallest details that impact us so very great. Ladies and gentlemen, with that said, let us put our hands together for the ubiquitous, always around, and the amazingly committed governor of the state of New Jersey, Governor Phil Murphy.
Thank you, Hector. That was very generous, buddy. Love you. Love you. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hector, it is an honor always to come to this community, and I promise you and Gary, who each call this wonderful community home, as do so many others. I will always be coming here. I love coming here. It represents in so many respects the heart and soul of the state, and thank you for your leadership. I'm humbled to be with an outstanding group up here on stage. As Hector mentioned, most of them, I want to make sure we've got them all. Superintendent Sandra Diodanet. We've also got at the far left the School Development Authority Executive Director is doing an incredible job, Manny De Silva. I see we have the Acting Commissioner of Education, Dr. Angelica Allen McMillan, with us. The 36th District has got powerhouse representation. Senator, Mayor, Budget Chair Paul Sarlo, Assemblyman, City Council, proud Passaic resident Gary Scher. We also have with us a real treat to have the former Education Chairwoman in the Senate and now the Senate Majority Leader, Senator Teresa Ruiz. Honored to be with you as well. And we're all honored together to cut the ribbon on the new Dayton Avenue campus. I want to acknowledge by acclamation all of the dignitaries, members of the board, commissioners, members of law enforcement, chief, nice to see you, educators, the principals who gave me an incredible tour, Jen Barker in her first year and Leandra Ragone in her fourth year, but first year here. Thank you for the tour. This place is rocking, and most importantly to the great kids and students who are with us today. I know it's a bittersweet day. I know it was for me and our kids, and I'm sure it is for these unbelievably talented children. It's a bittersweet day when you sort of first step foot into school, even a brand new school, because it also means it's about the end of the summer vacation. But like everything in life, it's always a balancing act. There's a time for fun and enjoying holidays and vacations, and there's a time to get back to school. And for all the above reasons, it's an incredible honor to be here today. Every child in this state deserves a world-class education, and every child in this state deserves a world-class school in which to learn and to grow. And today here in Passaic, we're bringing those basic principles to life. If you need a real-life example of how we are all working together to make New Jersey the state of opportunity, the state where every learner will be able to gain the skills necessary to achieve their American dream, this campus can easily stand as example number one. I don't think I need to repeat the facts and figures about what the educational campus means to the educational community here in Passaic. I don't think I need to dive into the hundreds of thousands of square feet of new classrooms or how this campus will support the aspirations and futures of thousands and thousands of Passaic children from pre-K right up through middle school. I don't think I need to dive into what it means for the tremendous and dedicated educators, administrators, and support staff. I don't think I need to highlight the state-of-the-art lab space, one of which I saw with my favorite principals, the creative spaces for the entire spectrum of the arts, the specialized learning centers for preschool children and for special education, which we also saw. And I shouldn't have to, because this is what every single school should be. It should be a place where every child has a place and where every place is built for educating children. But even more, this campus represents our administration's focus on ensuring that education policy is about preparing the next generation for excellence. Over the past now nearly 5 years, we have changed the way that we look at our schools and our school children. Public education is not just some number in the state budget to be cut through the whims of politics. Public education has become a central and core investment in our state's social and economic future. The budget I signed nearly 2 months ago, and I want to thank the extraordinary legislators with me today, because without them, it wouldn't have been signed. That budget put this belief in stark relief. It includes over $11.5 billion in direct school support for our public school classrooms, from pre-K right up through graduation. Moreover, and that's the reason why we're here today, it provides nearly $2 billion in direct support for the Schools Development Authority so that Manny and his team have the resources at hand to work with not only the SDA's core constituent communities like Passaic, but with our hundreds of regular operating districts and with charter and Renaissance schools to ensure that all their schools and facilities meet the needs of a 21st century education. This is our state's most significant investment in school infrastructure in well over a decade, and we're making it without taking on a penny of new debt. In fact, to the contrary, Standard & Poor's, you all probably saw, just improved its outlook for the state of New Jersey in terms of our credit rating. We are proud to be home to the top-ranked public education system in the United States of America, but we know that not every school community has yet found their place under that banner. With celebrations like today, we are showing how we intend to make sure they all do. For too long, too many so-called leaders have tried to divide communities instead of working toward building an equitable educational foundation. Communities which had long been overlooked, communities like Passaic, as Hector mentioned, were demeaned. The children of Passaic are not pieces in some game of politics. Moreover, not just the children of Passaic, but the children of every single school community. They are blessed children. They are all part of the future of our state. Our future aspirations are as diverse as our school communities themselves. We cannot succeed as a state unless we succeed in ensuring every student can learn, grow, and indeed succeed. So, amen. So today we cut the ribbon on a campus where the children of Passaic will have these very opportunities. But make no doubt, our commitment runs the length and breadth of this great state. And it is a commitment that so long as I am governor, and I hope well beyond, we will not turn away from. So to Manny and his team, to the SDA board chair, Rob Nixon, members of their board, to the superintendent, I say again, congratulations, Hector. As mayor, God bless you. And to every child and family in Passaic, I say welcome to your new school. And with that, it is my great pleasure to introduce the guy who runs the School Development Authority, Manny De Silva. Manny?
Good morning, everyone. Buenos dias. It is an honor to be here in Passaic City to celebrate the start of the new school year and to join Governor Murphy, city, state, and school leaders in opening the new Dayton Avenue Educational Campus. I must start by thanking the governor for the robust funding allocated to the state's school construction program. Thank you. Allowing us to move ahead with projects identified in our 2022 strategic plan update. I also want to thank Senator Sarlo, Senator Ruiz, Assemblyman Scher, and the entire legislature for their support of this funding and the work that we do. Funding such as this supports the delivery of schools in Passaic and communities throughout the state to address significant capacity and facilities deficiencies. The SDA is grateful, or gratified, I should say, to play a vital role in creating an environment that fosters the learning and development for our state's future leaders, the students. We take this job very seriously. The new Dayton Avenue Educational Campus is one of several new and expanded facilities that we will be opening for students in New Jersey this fall. Passaic City's young scholars deserve schools that will help them learn, thrive, and succeed as they embark on a lifetime of learning. As your dedicated educators deserve classrooms and resources that will help bring out the best in their students. The 4 schools located on this site will impact the teachers and students on a daily basis. But we also know they will also benefit the community as a whole. As you gather to watch a school play, basketball game, or a soccer game, or other school activity in the coming years, this facility will be a welcome addition to your community. Thanks to our ongoing partnership with our design-build team and the school district, we are able to deliver this 448,000 square foot facility months ahead of schedule. This allowed the district to employ a soft opening to some of Passaic's youngest leaders in January. Earlier this year, I had the opportunity to spend the morning with students for Read Across America, and it was wonderful to see the innovative spaces in use. Students told me of their excitement for their new classes, using their interactive whiteboards to read stories and learn, and actually dance. I got to do a dance with them, which I know Edie would like to share that, but we're going to hold off on that. Yes, check the video. You're right, Governor. As summer comes to a close, I'm sure students are lamenting the end of those summer days, but I am confident that their smiles will be big and their energy palpable as they begin to enjoy their new educational spaces in September. As you can imagine, the construction of a school of this size requires productive partnerships. We are fortunate to have that partnership here in Passaic. I want to thank the Superintendent Deal, Assistant Superintendent Jeff Trupo. There's also from the state level, I want to thank the Commissioner of Education, who is our partner down at the state and does a wonderful job. Thank you also to our state and local officials who are tireless advocates on behalf of Passaic students, and the construction trades who help us out and provide the labor that develops these projects, that raises these buildings. Thank you to the men and women who brought this project to completion. So Terminal Construction, RSC Architects, and the CM, which is Epic Management and Gilbane. Finally, to the students who will enter these doors in the coming days. Congratulations. We look forward to great things from you, and we wish you lots of luck. Congratulations, Passaic. Congratulations, Superintendent. Thank you, Governor.
Thank you, Manny, and to all the folks that you mentioned. We wouldn't be here without you and without that whole team. We got a few more folks that we absolutely need to hear from. I've already mentioned him. We wouldn't be here without him. He's the chair of the Senate Budget Committee, Senator, Mayor Paul Sarlo. Come on down, Paul.
Thank you, Governor. Good morning, everybody. It's always great to be back here in the city of Passaic. I will say this as I stand here before you, the 20 years that I've been blessed to represent this city, this great city. We've delivered over the years with my partner, Gary Scher, and working with the Board of Education and the Mayor and Council, millions of dollars for schools throughout the city of Passaic. But this, where we are sitting here today, is literally the cherry on top of the cake. A multi-faceted approach, 4 different campuses on a 12-acre site, 400,000 square feet of space, over 3,000 students. And I think, Manny, it's safe to say, as we sit here today, the largest SDA project in the state of New Jersey. We've delivered the largest SDA project in the state of New Jersey right here in the city of Passaic. We may out be done soon, right? Well, I know we're building something in Perth Amboy, but today we can celebrate that we are the largest. So as we sit here today, and the next couple of days, it's going to be filled with children from K through 8, or pre-K through 8. A lot of excitement, a lot of learning going on, a lot of activity going on, a great vibe, a great center for our city. We have to, again, to look forward to the future. I got to give a shout out to my colleague, Senator Ruiz. There's not a day that goes by that I don't talk to her, that she tells me that we need to do more for the 31 school districts and more for SDA funding. And this budget does that. Well over $1.5 billion of additional funding for new schools. And something that I am proud of, too, to all the folks that are out there watching, $350 million for regular operating districts. One of the first time we're putting that much money in for suburban school districts and regular operating districts, fulfilling our obligations to students throughout this great state of New Jersey. So as we sit here today, Passaic, don't think this is the end of it. We have a lot more to come here with the work with the governor and Gary and the mayor. We have a $12 million multi-transportation project that's going to be happening right downtown Pulaski Park, a huge riverfront walkway. A lot of good things happening here in Passaic. We're going to continue to work with each and every one of you to continue moving forward. But today is a day to celebrate. Literally, this is the cherry on the cake. A 400,000 square foot, 3,000 student school for students here in Passaic, pre-K through 8. Thank you. God bless to our students.
Great job. Paul, thank you for that, and thank you for your leadership. Again, the budget doesn't have the money it has for schools and for education and building schools without you. So thank you for everything you do. We were just, while you were speaking, observing that the 4 schools, 3 of them are names that you see in a lot of schools in America: Lincoln, Ali, Gandhi. I don't think you see Ellen Ochoa's name on a lot of schools in America, a Mexican woman astronaut who Hector, you brought here with Gary to tour. That's a pretty cool thing, particularly in a community with an overwhelmingly significant Latino population, and for especially some of these young ladies as they look for role models in society. Again, Paul, thank you. I mentioned that she's the former chair of the Senate Education Committee, a clarion voice for education in our state. She is now the Senate Majority Leader. Please help me welcome Senator Teresa Ruiz.
Good morning, everyone. So when I came in this morning, I sat quickly next to the young men and women, and they were a little tired. I think confused because we're almost 2 weeks earlier than the first day of school, but nonetheless super excited about their new building. Nearly 15 years ago, under Corzine's last budget, which was one of my first budgets, I was prepared to shut government down if, in fact, we didn't put up the bill to vote for bonding for SDA. Since that last vote, there has been absolutely no direct deposit into school construction except for this last budget that the legislature and the governor worked unanimously on, sending a message that we understand that if we don't make investment in infrastructure, everything else goes to peril. And I don't want to lose sight of that. Nearly $2 billion after over a decade in brick and mortar for the entire state of New Jersey. And I can tell you this, Senator Sarlo says that we talk daily. I think he gets tired of me nagging about the school systems in the state. And so we knew that if we didn't put this money in the budget, that perhaps we would still be negotiating the budget through August. To the superintendent, to the assistant superintendent, to the commissioner, to all the teachers, to the commissioners of the boards of education for your volunteer efforts doesn't go unnoticed. You all have a huge responsibility on your shoulders. Thank you for the work that you do. To the teachers and the staff of this building, brick and mortar is important. We realize that more than ever during COVID. You can't separate 6 feet apart. You can't have regular, normal practices if you don't have a building that provides for that. You can't have quality air in your school buildings if your HVACs were implemented during Abraham Lincoln's administration. True story for some of our school buildings still in Newark. I love today's announcement. I don't hail from Passaic. I am not geographically your state senator, but I am you. You are my kids. It doesn't matter where you come from, whether it's Camden, Cherry Hill, Newark, whether I'm your biological mother or not, anyone can attest to that every single day the purpose and the reason why I get on the turnpike and drive down to under the Golden Dome, and I argue and I fight and I nag and I scream is because I recognize that the single most important thing that we can do as adults is make investment in education and in children. Today we're doing that here in brick and mortar, but for all the academic people in the room, you realize that we have a huge uphill battle at stake. Our children's learning loss has been critical and severe. And so we have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity with the federal funding that has come into the state to make those necessary investments so that when the governor comes back to Passaic and we talk about New Jersey being #1 nationally for public schools, we can say that we're #1 in closing the achievement gap in the country. And that will be a great day for every single child, no matter what zip code we live in, no matter what last name we have, no matter how we look like, whether we came to New Jersey yesterday or we were born here decades ago. I am proud and privileged to be part of a team that has recognized the need, the urgency, and the necessity. To the SDA director, thank you. To the superintendent, to my Assembly colleague for all of your efforts always, both on budget and your efforts in education, and to the mayor for inviting this girl from Newark here today to participate in this celebration. Congratulations, and have a great first day of school in the next 2 weeks.
Thank you, Senator. And I just want to underscore your comment about closing achievement gaps and the mental health and learning loss that we've suffered over the past couple of years. May we be the state that shows the way, because God knows those gaps are real. Thank you again for your leadership and for everything. We're in his town. I don't know where we'd be without our next speaker. He's become a very dear friend over the past many years. He stands proud for this community and in wearing a couple of different hats. And today he's wearing the hat, and I'll introduce him wearing the hat of the Assemblyman from the 36th District, Passaic's own Gary Scher.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. I was thinking a number of times what exactly I should say. How do I follow Governor Murphy, a man who has publicly displayed his absolute commitment to education, and as we've heard, making New Jersey #1 in 50 states for its commitment to education. To Paul Sarlo, someone who I've had the pleasure to work with professionally, who brings to the Senate and brings to the state an unparalleled commitment, an understanding of budgets and how to make them best work for us, and we are the recipient and the beneficiary of his work. To our majority leader, Senator Ruiz, who is an absolutely amazing, amazing presence in the state, who, as you heard, nearly stopped the state from going forward, threatening the state that if we did not do what we must do for every child in the state, that we would not go on, and her perseverance made that happen. To our superintendent, to the director of our SDA, your work has been unbelievable. To our Board of Education, and if you'll forgive me to allow, as someone whose vision is unparalleled in this state, someone who is so committed, so dedicated, so aware, so focused, laser focused on making Passaic better for everyone, Mayor Hector Laura. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not quite sure what I should say that hasn't been said many times. So let me speak very shortly and briefly. Thank you for making a dream come true. Thank you for providing the 2,740 children who will be in this school, benefiting from it in every way possible, with excellent teachers, with excellent facilities, with a vision and opportunity that otherwise would not be the case. I see an amazing school before us, but there are other children in Passaic who need an equally amazing school. And in Trenton, and in Newark, and in Patterson, and in too many communities. We all know that without an education, one goes nowhere. One can't get a good job, one can't fulfill an obligation, one can't make a family stronger. What we are doing today is opening the doors for those 2,700 children to have just those things. We don't want more in this city than any other child will have in any other place in the state. But we want no less either. We deserve no less either. In order to be the citizens that the state dreams us of being, we need the resources, we need the commitment to do so. And under Governor Murphy, and with the assistance of our legislature, both Senate and Assembly, we have made that step forward. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for not only coming here to be a part of today's ceremony, but more importantly, thank you for being a part of a construct which has made a dream come true, a construct which will allow equal opportunity, equal ability, equal commitment to make New Jersey the state that it is and must become in the future, a state which provides for all, but most importantly, recognizes the absolute critical necessity to make sure that education is first and foremost for all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gary, and I want to underscore that point that you're not asking for more, but you are asking for no less, that every child in this community and in this state gets the same shake at their American dream, is living out what we call the state of opportunity with great example right here today. Last but not least, extraordinary superintendent of the Passaic school system, please help me welcome Sandra Diodanet.
To Governor Murphy, Senator Sarlo, Senator Ruiz, Dr. Alan McMillan, Assemblyman Scher, Mayor Laura, Board President Rodriguez, Vice President Sanchez, board members of the Passaic Public Schools, students, teachers, cabinet members, administrators, and all who serve the children of Passaic Public Schools, good morning y bienvenidos. I am Sandra Montanez Diodanet, Superintendent of Passaic Public Schools, and I bring you greetings on behalf of the Passaic Public School System and the Passaic Board of Education. Thank you for always saying presente to the city of Passaic, Governor Murphy, and for gracing us with your presence today. We appreciate your leadership and your commitment to public education and your unselfish support to the SDA. They are worthy. Their work undeniably awesome. This complex a testimony to their dedication. Mr. De Silva, Manny, and the SDA staff, Richard, Kim, Edith, Scarlett, Damont, Cheryl, Kim, and so many, many others. Thank you for being the ultimate partners in building schools and relationship building at the state level. Your dedication and devotion to Passaic and ensuring that children have 21st century school buildings is remarkable. Thank you for allowing us to build alongside of you, for listening and considering our needs and the needs of our students and families. It's almost as if you took a line from Beyonce and Jay-Z and said, partner, let me upgrade you. And indeed you did. 9 months early too, so we thank you for that. We were able to have summer school here because of it. And we had a soft opening in January, so that was awesome. Assemblyman Scher, Senator Sarlo, Senator Ruiz, Mayor Laura, Board of Education members, thank you for advocating for us. We appreciate all that you do in Trenton and right here in Passaic for all 15,000 or plus. As a child of the downtown area of Passaic, I can say a school complex in the downtown area is a long time coming. We are beyond excited to see the 21st century modernized educational campus in this area, and we are even more excited for the students who will benefit from all that it will have to offer, not only physically, but like Senator Ruiz said, certainly academically and programmatically. When I say we are excited, that certainly is an understatement. Again, thank you, and our kids and community are worthy of it. I can't wait to see you playing out in that field out there. It's awesome. We are standing at the old Beth Israel site. It's a hospital. I remember when the hospital was torn down and when the trailers were removed from this site. On countless occasions, as I would drive down Route 21, which is the first thing you see is the complex, I can recall literally throwing positive energy to this site, this complex, and talking to it because that's what I do. I talk to things. And at the time, I worked 2 towns over, but I would say to this complex, I can't wait to see you. I'm sure your media center is going to be fantastic with big windows. The bubble thought would be, how awesome that these downtown kids won't have to freeze in the winter for a middle school education, because we used to have to walk, our downtown kids, about 2 miles up just to go to number 4 school. I wonder if there's going to be a soccer field or a football here. That would be sick, is what I used to say to myself. I'm sure the gymnasium is going to be large enough for some AAU tournaments. And I would see like Benji trying to get in here, right? He runs all of the AAU tournaments from Patterson, trying to use it. He's the assemblyman. And I would laugh and drive home. I live 2 blocks down Hudson Street. And this is gonna sound nutty to some of you, but I even pictured myself at the ribbon cutting, and here I am. I have vision boards, it's what I do. I knew I would be connected to this site and complex, and thank God I was right. And the Media Center is more than fantastic. I would say, like the kids, it's fantabulous, with lots of windows and great sunlight. Downtown kids will only have to walk 5 to 10 minutes and still feel their toes in the winter. And they will have dry noses as well. And yes, the soccer field is sick in a good way. And yes, the gymnasiums with an S are large, and our kids over the summer were able to enjoy it. And I am sure that there will be some AAU games here, and competitions, and science fairs, and so much more in these gymnasiums. All of it is possible thanks to the state of New Jersey, the SDA, and all of the dignitaries that helped and advocated for this educational site here in Passaic. So gracias. I will close with this because Ms. Jones told me I only had 3 minutes. On behalf of the families and children of Passaic, and especially my beloved downtown area, thank you from the depths of our heart and souls for providing us this opportunity to learn and grow in a complex that will be no doubt make an impactful and tremendous difference in the lives of thousands of children and future students and families of the great city of Passaic. Passaic, pride, purpose, passion, and endless possibilities. That is Passaic. Doctors, lawyers, future mayors, superintendents, governors, senators, assemblymen and assemblywomen, architects, engineers, surveyors, scientists, astronauts, policymakers and peacemakers, and so much more are destined to be educated in this very complex because of you. And that is what we expect out of this new beautiful complex here on Dayton Avenue, greatness. Thank you. Gracias. The kids would say, Governor Murphy, you rock. They will also say, SDA, you rock. So on behalf of the Passaic Board of Education, thank you. God bless you. Forward, pa'lante. Thank you.
So well done, Sandra. That was so good. That was so good. You rock as well, Sandra. Any event that quotes both Beyonce and Jay-Z has got to be a good event. As they say in Hollywood, it's a wrap. We're going to go outside on behalf of all of us up here and all of you down there, especially these precious kids. What a great day here. We're going to go outside and cut that ribbon you dreamed about, Sandra. Thanks, everybody. Gary, you're over here.
So, you come right here. Hello,
guys.
All right. Hey there. Better ways. They're going to be in between. Right here, Ruiz. You're over there. Right here, go with Sarah Ruiz. All right.
This is a wide event.
I can hear you.
Stand up right in front of you. Now you know me.
Where?
Am I supposed to have this? Yes. It's very exciting. Henry, 4th grade. Alexander Newsman, Henry, 6th grade. Right? We set? Why don't you, each of you put your hands on this with me? And I want you to push your hand on top. You put it like this way. Just don't Great day. If you're on stairs, make sure you have the 20 back. Thank you.
Right for night.
I would love that.